So for this week on CyberSchool, we're covering a topic that we haven't really touched on before. We've really talked about different use cases for our products and how to apply them and intricate details of the products, but honestly, we haven't talked about a kind of important bit, and that's actually where to purchase and where to get our products from. It's all well and good if you know where the dang speaker goes, but if you don't know where to get the speaker from, you kind of got an issue there. So hopefully, with today's Cyber School, you'll better understand the different places that you can actually get our products from. So there's three main ways to get our products. We sell, of course, direct at MSRP through our main website, cyberdata.net. You can get our products through a reseller. Then we'll also cover what's the difference between a certified reseller and a non-certified reseller, because you'll see both of those on our where to buy section. And then finally, we'll talk about buying through distribution. So when you purchase direct, we sell direct through our website at MSRP, and it gives kind of like a really streamlined process to just buy through the website. You're reading about this fancy intercom that's IP65 rated, goes outside, absolutely perfect for your front gate, but you're not really sure where to get it. Well, there's that big old add to cart button, and you can just buy it direct from our website. The orders come straight to us. It's not like a third-party company that runs the website and then sends us a PO in like a day or two. They come straight into us, and we deal with that immediately. And if we don't have the product already built, ready to go on the shelf, not already claimed, we build something specific for you and get that shipped as soon as possible. Depending on the particular time that you order. It might ship same day. If, the production crew isn't real busy, they might be able to whip up a couple quick products for you and get them out the door, but they'll typically ship within 48 to 72 hours of an order being in. Our shipping crew really does a great job at getting everything through. And the nice thing about purchasing direct from us is it's kind of a standard shopping experience that a lot of us end customers are used to. Whether you're purchasing something through Amazon or any kind of online website, it's a really easy process to go through to actually pick your different shipping options. If you want something next day, or if you want it, horse and buggy out to you as slow as possible, you get all those different regular options that you would expect. And a nice thing is it's really easy to add extended warranty for your products directly on the page when you're looking at the product. So it makes it a really easy, seamless process. If you're just looking for one or two devices that you want to install yourself, or you're working with a platform that recommends for you to buy direct from us, it's a really easy way to go through actually purchasing stuff. And when you order something from us, you're getting something that's brand spanking new, not going to be sitting on a shelf somewhere, third party or anything like that. You're getting it straight from the manufacturer, shipped directly from our manufacturing plant in Monterey, California. So next, you can purchase through a reseller. And some reasons that you would want to purchase through a reseller is sometimes you can actually get a better price instead of buying direct from us. And another big reason that you'll want to actually purchase through a reseller is they're going to handle every segment of the sale. If you're relatively competent, you could probably buy the product from us and install it yourself. Our stuff is relatively easy to install. If you can, drill a hole, run a cable, and, plug something in, pretty basic, pretty easy to use. But if you don't feel comfortable with that, or frankly, you don't have the time to do that, that's where resellers come in, and they'll typically handle every single segment of the sale. So, if you're not sure, you want to switch from, say like an old digital system, or God forbid, you're still on like an old school analog system, you might not know what's the difference between all these different phone platforms out here. And, honestly, for people that aren't in this industry, it can be kind of boring. So that's where a reseller can come in. They can recommend you a good phone system depending on what you're looking for out of that particular phone system and products to use on it. Hopefully CyberData products, probably one of the reasons you're here. They kind of create a one-stop shop to deal with that, where a lot of them will handle your regular network infrastructure. If you need PoE switches, if you need internet and phone, they can basically handle everything for you in terms of making all those decisions, making you sure you get everything that is up to spec and will work as soon as it gets installed. And a lot of them will also handle installation. So it makes it a really, really great deal. And you get a lot of bang for your buck because you get, a pretty reliable person to call just to be able to say, hey, I got to call my phone guy call the phone guy and you can get it all worked out. They can figure out your phone system. They can get all the right products for you, all the right phones for your conference area, and then install everything and just deal with all the headache of it and, make it a lot more streamlined process. And a lot of the times, you can sometimes get a better price buying through a reseller. Sometimes you might pay a little bit more buying from a reseller because they're also going to install it. They're going to set it up and you just tell them, I want 3 speakers and okay, I'll be there in a week and they'll work for you. So sometimes you pay a little bit more through a reseller. It kind of depends on what they're doing for you. But they're a really great option if you're not sure what you're doing or you want a little assistance or you might not have the time to handle it. So I mentioned that we've got certified and non-certified installers. And what's the difference between those? Well, a certified installer has gone through training on our products. And there's 2 segments of certification where we've got a sales side where they learn about all the products, the different use cases, where those particular products go, and how to sell those particular products. So if somebody is looking for a paging system, they can go and evaluate, okay, you've got an existing paging system that works. I don't need to, charge you an arm and a leg and rip out all of those working functional speakers, plop in IP speakers, recable that and just, really bloat the deal, honestly, for no reason. They would know from going through the training that, hey, they've got a working paging system. I can just drop in a SIP paging server and be able to actually page through all the different products there. They've got that little bit of extra training on the sales side, as well as installation. That's the other side of the certification process, where they'll go through a different training program run by yours truly. It will go and teach people actually how to install all the different products in a couple different segments, and we cover the entire product line. So that way, if you're going with a certified installer, you get the confidence that it's not just some guy that filled out a form on our website and just gets added to our map. Not to say that our non-certified installers aren't good, but they've gone through a whole process for the actual installation and certification on our products. They really know what they're doing. Not that the non-certified don't, but they've actually spent the time to go through the process. And these teams work really, really close with us. A lot of the times they're in pretty frequent contact with our different salespeople. And we do a lot of special stuff with them. Some of them get special demonstration product for their, say if they've got an office and they bring customers in there, they can have products for demonstration. They'll be like extra, beta test sites for new products that we're coming out with to give us feedback. So they work really, really closely with us when they're certified. So you can have a lot of confidence if you're working with a certified installer. The non-certified installers, of course, since you know all about the certified ones, the non-certified haven't gone through all that formal training. But again, this doesn't mean that these folks aren't knowledgeable about the products. The certification process is really new, and a lot of our non-certified installers have been working with our products for years, and they've got the practical field experience. And, in all honesty, instead of sitting at a 4-hour course listening to me talk for hours, they've actually gone boots on the ground, installed speakers, wired them all, and used our products for years. So, in some cases, you can get a better installer that's actually non-certified as compared to one of our certified installers. That's just one of the things. It's kind of a new program, and, we're continually adding people through there. So when you're dealing with a certified versus non-certified, just because a reseller is not certified doesn't mean they're not qualified. Anybody that's going to appear on our list has been vetted by us and has some level of qualification to actually install our products. It's not some guy that's running, a weekend, side gig that just fills out stuff on our website and is able to buy products because he's got another job that allows him to buy through distribution or something. These are people that we've vetted that actually get to appear in there that, do a certain amount of business with us, whether they're certified or non-certified. Another big thing is we've really just started the certification program, and we try to keep it a kind of a smaller, close-knit course. We're not doing, 100, 200 people in one session where there's really no interaction between us. We do really small courses of, maybe 8 to 20 people at most. They're really, really small courses because we really want that interaction between the attendees and the instructors of this particular certification course. So because of that, and we only do these a couple times a year, it's going to be slow for all of our non-certified installers to become certified. They're, small classes, limited spots. Not everybody can get in at once. It's something that we're working through, and we're going to have some new classes starting up as we get into the winter. With this particular industry, there's certain times of the year that the installers have time to go through these, and sometimes they don't. Over the spring and summer months, they're real busy, and they don't really have time to sit around in courses and listen to me drone on for 4 to 6 hours. So, they want to, do that in the winter months when they're not as busy. So when you're dealing with some of our uncertified resellers, they might actually be better, depending on how long they've been working with our products. We've got some of our resellers on a reseller map that have literally been working with us for more than 10 years. So some of these people have been around since we came out with our first speaker in the early 2000s. They've been working with us for a long time, and they might not get as much out of our certification program as, say, a newbie would that has been maybe installing our stuff for a couple of years. You'll find some real veterans working with our resellers. So just because somebody doesn't have that fancy certification and they're not showing up on that fancy certified installer page doesn't mean that they're not worth your time. You can at least give them a call, talk to them. If they're like, oh yeah, I've installed 3 CyberData products over 5 years, might want to call somebody else. But, you're going to get a good qualified person no matter if they're certified or non-certified. So as we move on, let's talk about distribution, the final place to get our products. And that's where we actually sell the majority of our products. Most of our products are going to be sold through distribution, because that's how a lot of sales in this particular industry works. Otherwise, we'd have to have a whole floor of salespeople making calls every day. And that just, it really wasn't feasible for us when there's a whole distribution channel that's already out there. Buying through distribution is absolutely going to give you the best price on our products, but there's a catch. Unfortunately, not every single person can just go call up, say Annixter or Ingram Micro and be like, hey, I want to buy 3 speakers. And they'll be like, okay, what's your contract number? Oh, I don't have one of those. Okay, well, let's set you up with a contract. You got to give us this much. You need to sell this much, volume to be able to keep your contract with us for next year. Oh, well, I'm looking for 3 speakers. Click. You're not going to be able to work with distribution partners because they're really geared to sell to resellers. The way that this typical sales model works, and like it does in a lot of big box, like TV manufacturers, the manufacturer sells to a distributor that sells to a reseller that sells to end customers. Like if you think about it, someplace like Best Buy, where you go buy a TV, they're kind of a distributor, kind of a reseller. They kind of fall into an interesting spot. But with that said, there are some end customers that can work directly with distribution. If you're calling from a big time university, say you're calling from like an Ivy League university, you don't necessarily need to meet all of the different special qualifications that you would need to get a regular reseller contract with distribution. If you're big enough, you can work directly with distribution sometimes. There's always exceptions to the rules. But this is typically where resellers that you'll work with, certified and non-certified, will end up purchasing their products just because they get it at a cheaper rate. That way they can make a little bit of money on that particular sale as they make it down their way to use. This is kind of explains everything. And again, distribution, really not for end customers. It's really for resellers that want to be able to purchase product and then go out and install it in different locations. So when you're looking to actually pick a reseller, we've got a really awesome map on our website that lists all of the different resellers that we have located around the world. We are a globally marketed company, and you can get our products internationally. We've got distributors all around the world and resellers all around the world. Of course, our resellers are concentrated mainly in North America, especially on the East Coast. You can really see the density on the eastern seaboard of just all those different maps there. But we've got people installing our products all over the place, whether you're in South America, you're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, or around Europe, or even Australia. We've got different resellers that are available for you. And we've also got certified installers that are available internationally. So you've got a lot of different options when you're picking a particular reseller. But of course, since we're a mainly US-based company and we do a lot of our sales here in the US, the biggest concentration of resellers are going to be here on the east and west coast of North America. So hopefully you're not trying to find a reseller of our products in, say, Russia, because we don't have any of those yet. We might one day, but nothing yet. So when you're looking at a distribution partner, say you're a reseller and you're looking for different distributors to actually get products from, and there's a whole bunch out there, and you can look at the actual really detailed list on our website and try to find ones that are, say, close to your area, or just kind of call around and feel them out. We're distributed worldwide, so whether you're here in the U.S. or you're not, you can find different distribution partners that might be a little bit closer to your particular area. And there's two different segments of distribution partners. You can get what are known as value-added distributors and then non-value-added distributors, or sometimes called box pushers for lack of a better term. Value-added distributors usually go through training, kind of like what our certified resellers go through, where they really know the products in and out, and they'll give you a lot more help if you're a reseller and you're trying to win a bid, say for a school district or like a city hall or something like that. They'll know the products a little bit better and be able to help you recommend the right products at a good price, so that way you can hopefully win the bid, because if you make the sale, they make the sale, everybody wins. And then you've got your non-value added distribution partners, which are honestly really good for say certified resellers or people that know our product pretty well, that don't necessarily need that assistance that you can get from one of those value added distributors, because they're value added. Sometimes they might charge a little bit more for those particular products versus a non-value added, where you call them up and they say, hey, I want this part number. Okay, cool. We'll add it to your order. We'll have it out to you quickly. If you're just looking to get the product and you don't need any help, non-value added distributors are absolutely awesome, because you can get a cheaper price, and sometimes you have to deal with them less. You just call your guy, you tell him you want so many of this part number, so many of that part number, and where you want them shipped, and they take care of the rest. There's a lot of different opportunities out there for distribution partners, and really, really great companies out there. I'm not going to shout anybody out, so that way nobody feels that they got shouted out and their competitor, they didn't, and their competitor did, anything like that. We've got a lot of great partners out there that are available for assistance. So finally, where should I buy my CyberData product? Well, it kind of depends where you're at in the market. If you're an end customer, say Joe's Muffler Shop, you might want to buy from us, or maybe from a reseller, depending on your availability, how busy you are, and your knowledge, or if you even want to deal with installing a product like ours. And then also, how fast do you need the product? You might be working with a reseller that's going to try to order it through distribution, and that can take some time because he's got to call his distributor, and his distributor is going to, put in an order with us and then call us and deal with that. It can, delay stuff a little bit. But if you need something overnight, you can buy it direct from us and we can overnight it to you. Those kind of options are out there. So those are two things to consider. Where are you at in the market and how fast do you need the product? If you can wait, let your reseller get it and let them get it through a distributor, because you might save a little bit of money on it. And then, another great question is, who are you buying the product for? Are you going to be using the product, or is somebody else going to be using the product? If you're buying this and then, basically selling it to an end customer, you might not want to buy from us, because then you got to buy at MSRP, and then you're probably going to have to charge over MSRP, and the customer is going to look at you like, you want, this much money for that intercom, but it's that price on their website. Well, I got to, and it just creates that, lack of confidence in an installer. So, that's another good thing to consider is, like, who are you actually buying the product for? Are you going to be using this, or is somebody else going to be using it? And then finally, who wants to install the product? If you're a pretty qualified, group of people, like say our financial officer at CyberData, he does a little bit of everything, basically anything that he can do to not have to deal with the books. So, if you can handle installing the product like we can at CyberData, we don't necessarily need an installer because we can handle it ourselves. But if you don't have somebody like that, that's kind of a jack of all trades that can literally do anything, whether it's, building shelves for an engineering area or installing a gas powered generator, so when the power goes out, we don't lose power. You might want to look at an installer, just because if you don't have that knowledge base, the tools available, or you don't want to take the risk of potentially damaging one of your expensive products, let your reseller do it. Because if they break it, they got to replace it. So these are just some things to think about. And hopefully after today's Cyber School, you better understand where to purchase our products.
Thank you for watching this edition of Cyber School. If you have any questions, please get in contact with our sales department. They are available by email at sales@cyberdata.net or by phone at 831-373-2601 extension 334. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe for more content like this from CyberData.